some point. Get it.
Welcome into a Tuesday night evening blend. I am Pop Blender, as you can see right here. And with me, the one and only Matthew Matson. And of course, Matthew gets to go first, and he gets to go full screen. So let's do this thing, brother. Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah, dude. I think this guy's pretty cool. I was having fun with him. The weird SJW needs to be dyed purple haircut thing bugs me, but other than that, this guy's pretty cool. So the hat's staying on the whole time. But I will tell you who's frustrating is this dude right here.
Bring him on, because yep, I had a feeling.
So he is almost amazing. This helmet is wonky, and if you try to use those tubes, you're not posing them for anything. So I'm going to have to custom make my own tubes for him, because those little plastic tubes that he came with are useless.
That's a bummer. I haven't opened mine yet. And let's see. Let's see that beautiful mug real quick. One more time. There he is. He'll get in focus. Well, maybe not. It's not so beautiful, is it? Maybe he doesn't want to be in focus, Matthew. Yeah, so
it's that widow's peak of his.
My guys came, Hydro Viper, Airtight. They came today, actually.
Nice.
And so I'm going to have to do a little bit of bending over and grabbing stuff, because I am going to flash some stuff on screen. This sign right here for you guys, just to show you. G.I. Jetman made some signs. And what's actually cool about that is that he made them in the colors of everybody's favorite football team.
Yeah.
So black and gold, you had like Buffalo Bills, you had just everybody's favorite color for a team. I think Punk got one that was like silver and blue.
Right. Yeah.
So really, really cool, man. It's really nice. Jetman brought these, and so that was a treat. So yeah, I'll show off a few things here that I got, because a couple of them are for you. But nonetheless, let's say hello to a few people rolling in here really quickly. Stanley's on the road, got a dinner with the in-laws. I'm sorry, man. And yeah, we're probably hit off with the JoeFest talk, kind of hit it off the top, and then get into the movie stuff. But I'll try to be quick enough anyway, right? Go through some pictures and stuff. So I'll definitely kind of roll through it. But I want to talk about my experience, really even more than showing the pictures, because I know you guys are going to get inundated with pictures over the next few days. Eric Thurman, what's up, brother? How you doing? Zed's dead. Ed, Action Figures is here. Action Figs, my bad. Man, hanging with Ed, that's a good time. Yeah. I bet 25 years ago, me and Ed would have probably really got on pretty. Shane, Same Time Toys is here. Shane was hanging out this weekend as well. 3-Star Draw says, "Are we doing this? I have a real life to go back to tomorrow."
Ooh, real life.
I know,
sucks.
right? He got to take the day off.
Nice.
I did not. Turk Murphy's here and has a new screen name, Turkish Murphy. What's up, man? Tony's Figs loving his Sundown Fig. Obviously got to spend some time with Tony this weekend as well. Let's see here. Yeah, Cowboys was Tony's that G.I. Jetman made for him. That was cool, man. Let's see here. There's Stanley on my phone now, traveling. And let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Clint is in the house. Clint, I had to wear this. Had to wear this. I got a couple gifts from Clint and
Jorgensen.
Giraffe, the one and only Clint. And got to spend some time with Clint. And his wife was there as well. And so I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. to kind of flip through some picks, man. But yeah, it was what every con is, right? Like it's what every convention is. You run into a bunch of people that you've had interactions with on chat, maybe on a stream. Maybe you don't know what people look like. That's kind of difficult. To be honest with you, it is one of the reasons I do wear the hat on stream, is that it does make it easy, and in case you're running around, that somebody you haven't seen can come up to you and say hello, and that's really the main reason why I go to JoeFest is, yes, there's some cool stuff, but really I have more fun hanging out with everybody.
Right.
That is really my jam. It's just what I do, and I love it. The beaver costume likes hanging out. The tail, unfortunately, doesn't like hanging in, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, all right. So
HR.
Let me get on to some picks, and like I said, I'm gonna try to move through these, man. But I'll share them with you. Everybody has so many, and so I'll blast through the beautiful state of Tennessee that I always try to show people.
Got to show off those mountains.
It is gorgeous. Not gonna lie, it absolutely is gorgeous. The drive up there, at least east anyway, and then south, is absolutely beautiful. Nice. All right, here's your table.
That's it, man. So many amazing things on that table.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And I'll show off a couple of those amazing things in a minute.
I'm excited for those knights that are on there, and the dragons, and
there's the one and only Clint Jorgensen right there, ladies and gentlemen, and Sharlock hanging out. I'll tell you, Clint, I had such a wonderful time, especially at the pool, and everybody was out there talking to him for a really long time. His wife is really wonderful. They have a little son too. And
nice.
They are traveling folks, man. They love going to Hawaii and stuff like that, but really nice people, like really exciting people to talk to because they're just so upbeat and really fun to be around. So that was awesome. And there's War Chest, big mug in there too. Let's see here. There you go. I had to take that picture for you to send to you, just to give you the details on the Savage Crucible. And if you happen to see the chat, Matthew, feel free to highlight anything as I'm just kind of flipping through these pics, man.
Hey,
if I missed something.
You should have thrown in the picture that I sent you of you buying the stuff at the Savage.
No. Oh, don't you worry.
Okay.
Oh, no. Don't you worry, buddy. And then here is the Ostrix set, which I actually do have it in hand here. I got the boxing. We haven't had time to open it.
I saw, was it Bees did a review of it. That thing looks really awesome.
It's cool. Cool. I had to take this for my son because I had my original. I had that
original, and my mom sold it at a garage sale.
Well, I actually still have mine. However, my son dropped him, and one of his arms broke off.
The only thing I have left from that set is Salacious Crumb.
Okay, I had him. Oh, this guy.
That guy,
look at that
always
son
there.
of a bitch. Yeah, he's always a blast. We got a little boss fight with the red Sony. I wanted to take those for you as well. Little kit car from Ace. Zakanin, which he took a selfie of he and I, but I didn't get one with my phone, and then the one I get with my phone looks like shit. So, but I met Zakanin. He was actually nice, really nice.
Dude, he's always been cool. I met him a couple years ago at DFW, and he had a stream on today where he's going over his JoeFest stuff too. So
yeah,
he's a good dude.
Super cool. Yep, super cool. It was great to meet him. I know he doesn't really know me from shit, but he did he's the one that called me out across the little booth area, and I'm like,
nice.
Holy shit. Some more Conan for you there. There's the boss fight.
Fight.
Here's the deal about boss fight, you guys. Okay, Lenny, Corey, right? Especially those two guys, very forward-facing from Hasbro, right? Previously. You're going to get Matthew. Like, the one-on-one time we had with Lenny late at night after the convention was over one night on Saturday, and then Corey showed up. You're going to get those opportunities because these guys are now going to be going around. Hasbro did not want to pay the money for these guys to go out to different conventions, except for San Diego. So now people are going to get a chance to really cut up with those guys, and they're super nice guys. Not gonna lie, and at least from my interaction and the people that was in the kind of circle hanging out with him, interaction was fantastic. There's some more of their epic hacks. Let's see.
Caulfield.
Yeah, had to get there's Lenny, and I actually got a chance to do a little one-on-one with Lenny, and I'll be posting that video probably tomorrow.
Nice.
It's a quick video, but had to get that picture there. There's a few people like Loki, Daredevil Dave, G.I. Bro, 3-star, Stanley hanging out. Oh, there he is. There's the one and only G.I. Jetman right there. Deep in conversation with G.I. Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Hang on. Who is this cat? I can't remember.
I can't quite see him. Let me see.
I'm trying to blow it up. You guys tell me in the chat.
Actually, I don't know.
Because I don't know everybody. That's the problem sometimes with these things.
I'm not sure who that is because I thought it was Joe Hunter 73 for a second, but it's not. So I'm not sure.
Come on. Somebody in the chat. You'll tell me. Anyway. And I'll feel terrible if I don't remember. That is one Steve Martin as a beautiful young strapping man. And then there's everybody.
That's it.
There's kind of the thing with Lenny.
I mean, that's kind of what happened at DFW this year with a bunch of the creators and stuff with Larry Hama.
I'm sorry, man. Like some people I really recognize and other people I don't remember off the top of my head. It kills me.
You got to write the shit down, man.
I know. I'm terrible. How are you going to write the shit down when you're half cocked and in the moment? You know, it's like, but I feel you, and you are correct, Matthew. It's my bad. Okay. So a few more pictures of kind of that little group there.
I was glad to see Ray Murphy hanging around with everybody so much too. He's pretty cool.
And like there's Corey behind Lenny. Eventually he showed up, took a couple big swigs of moonshine from 3-star Draw's flask. 3-star had to kind of offer it up a couple times, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good." And then finally he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting on this." So this is a great conversation. It lasted for a few hours. There's Stanley sneaking up on me. Oh, look at these guys in the background too. It's pretty funny. There's Krusty Old Crow. I had to make sure I took a picture to prove to you that he was.
He actually made it. He made it.
There's the picture I gave you. So Crow and 3-star got to hang out, and Krusty Old Crow had a very difficult trip.
Journey, yeah.
There's the one, Tony's Figs.
Tony!
Yep.
Next to the Bucky's beaver.
Yes. I did wear it for about the last 40 minutes, and I'm going to tell you, it was extremely hot, and I was sweating my ass off in there. There's Big Steve Martin. Him and his wife also really wonderful. Like, really good people. Nice. Really fun to hang out with. They were awesome, man. And very generous with a gigantic bottle of Knob Creek.
Oh, wow.
Oh, extremely generous. Here is Ed Action Fig's little comic that he did. Instead of giving out stickers, Ed gave out this little mini comic. And this is really freaking cool.
So he's been taking these photos and working them in with AI a little bit, but he's been posting them on Instagram, and his originals are phenomenal. And so then he just kind of changed them up a little bit to make them comic like, and this is pretty cool.
It was really like super cool to see this, and of course Ed told me, "Hey, look, I posed my figures, and then I did a little work with AI."
Yeah.
And so it was just and a neat idea because everybody's like, "Oh, stickers, got to make stickers," and then Ed brings the heat with a mini comic. Let's see who all makes mini comics next year. How about that? Let's see if that happens. But really, really freaking cool, man! Like, what a great idea. This is the pool on Sunday. Tony, let me know exactly what fig you want me to send you, and I'll be glad to.
I see the Titan in the background, and I'm not sure who he was hanging with over there, but I know him.
Yeah, I mean, kind of everybody was there.
Yeah.
Joe Ricondo's hanging out, right? You got Steve from Delta 17. Hi Ken showed up. Shane Woody, obviously, right there hanging out, with everybody. Loki and Dave, I had a great conversation with them. They're just having a great time. Baldy's there in the background. Punk is in here somewhere, hanging out too. Crow. I mean, everybody. The pool. Not everybody was in the pool, but everybody's hanging out at the pool. But Clint again. There's Loki. There he is. Same Time Toys. You goofball. Let's see
And
here.
now, is that your hand making the finger point there? Were you giving him a big hug from behind?
That actually, that was somebody else. No, I'm kidding. That's, that might have been. See that cup of whiskey? See that freaking cup of bourbon? Yeah, that. So, Steve Martin brought this gigantic bottle of Knob Creek, which wasn't cheap, and he
No.
brought a sleeve of plastic cups, and he handed them out, and he was like, here you go. Anybody that wants a cup, I'm gonna pour you. And man, you're talking about 3 fucking fingers, bro.
Yeah.
Every time. It was no slouch there. SCS Dog is in the
Yeah,
house.
dude.
He was there too. That was awesome to see
Yep.
him. There's Woodrow.
Woody!
Yeah, dude, Woodrow, man, and and this pic I took this was on Sunday night into Monday morning, and Crow had to leave for his flight, and he had wanted to spend some time with Larry Hama, and unfortunately Larry was sick on Saturday, and Larry was
Yeah.
not able to come, so he had someone filling in for him at his table. Well, Crow did not kind of get the little one-on-one time he was maybe hoping to get,
Yeah.
and so I'm standing outside, and Crow comes out, and he's standing there. And I look up and I'm like, well, there's Larry sitting there waiting on his ride. Why don't you go talk to him? And it's like, holy shit. And so
That's awesome.
both of these guys were getting ready to head out to go get to their flights or whatever. And he went in and got some one-on-one time with Larry. And it was really cool because I know Crow was in the military also. And I know he had some certain questions he wanted to ask. And so it was really, really awesome that, here it is. It's like literally, I don't know, 4 in the freaking morning.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, I stayed up late, man. But it was just really awesome. Yes, Tony, I got scolded for smoking a cigarette in an area that we all smoked in last 2 years. I don't know what happened.
Mom and Pop were mad.
Yeah, well, Mom and Pop, yeah, they were, they were mad. Take your pick on who Mom and Pop are. But anyway, but I thought this was a good moment, and I was happy for Crow that he got that time to spend with Larry. And then this is the creepiest part of the con, folks. I'm standing in line for the Savage Crucible exclusive for Matthew. For Matthew. And all of a sudden I get a message that says, I see you. It's like, what? And he's like, oh, Zakanan's in front of you at some point, somewhere.
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Anyway,
That was a little bit earlier.
and then Matthew starts sending me pictures of us standing in line. As you can see, 3-star, and there I am with War Chest behind me, Charlock and Clint Jorgensen standing there talking. And it's like, I think it's Clint right there. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, and so I'm like, what? And then I look, and Matthew's sending me pictures from the live stream. And I'm like, that's wacko.
Right,
And he
as,
goes,
right as Darren's
hey.
buying his stuff.
Oh, yeah, right as Darren's buying it. He goes, oh, hey, those Elrics are going fast. And I'm like, what? They are? And, of course, we knew that they would be. As here's a couple more of those photos, right, as I'm inching my way a little closer. There's Woody comes up to talk to us. And let's see, I think that is the last one in this roll. So I'm going to stop it for a second. And, yes, I did pick up a couple for you, right? I got you 2 of these guys right here, okay? Yes, they are cool. I did not get myself one. However, I got the last Elric on Friday, and War Chest was right behind me, and he was not really happy. Oh, shit, it was funny as hell. Hey, they say, oh, that's the last one. And War Chest is like, huh? What? Yeah, that's the last one. And I was like, I'll take it.
Crow, did you get a chance to see? Pop showed that picture of you and Larry Hama at 4 in the morning. I hope you got to see that. Got to see him talk about that.
Did I blow past it? I guess I did. I'll get to it.
No, he just popped up right after you started talking
he said
about
he
that.
did?
So
Okay,
no,
good.
he said he just tuned in finally on.
Oh, okay.
It was right after you
Well,
took
let
that
me
image off.
let me show it to Crow because I think I texted to him. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But anyway, and so there was a picture of you guys hanging out talking, which was really cool. I know that was very important to you, and so that was super cool. Yeah. So got War Chest. My bad. Highlight that again, Matthew. Go right ahead, man. I
Sorry.
Step on your toes. Okay, so there you go, and that's just how it goes, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
And you got to tell me what you get in your blind bags for that, because I always want to know what everybody gets in their blind bags for their figures. And with Elric also has a card and is behind the the backdrop thing. So
right.
just so you don't forget that there's a card in there as well.
Okay, so really quickly, like I said, you feel free to highlight anything that comes in. I know 3-Star put something in there too. Whatever, you have the floor to do that. I'm going to go full screen for a second.
Yep, Crow, that is a great photo. So that's one to cherish for sure.
Oh, absolutely. So Clint Jorgensen shows up with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bag, and yeah, right. I'm gonna open Elric. Okay, he's not a Joe. He's not a Joe. Anyway, so Clint Jorgensen shows up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bag, and I'm standing in line or somewhere, and he goes, "Hey, Giraffe wanted me to give you something, and I have something here too." Of course, I think Clint told me he bought this shirt like 11 years ago. I had to wear the Nelson and Murdoch Law Office's Hell's Kitchen shirt tonight.
That's awesome.
But the other thing is Giraffe's trying to turn my channel into a Motu channel, and it's never going to work. But,
hey, so let me. Which version of Skeletor is that? Because there's a variant version of that Skeletor.
I don't know. This is the Chronicles though.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure.
I don't know. I think there's a difference in the head sculpt or the jaw articulation or something. But come on, man. You have to get the SEC exclusive Skeletor. The Jim Bro Skeletor.
Oh, no. I saw it. I absolutely saw it. And I know people are going to be sharing that. I'm sure tomorrow night, 3-Star, because I looked it up. I showed it to him in the car ride home. And I was like, check this out, dude. This just came up.
They're going to have to re-release that or something because making an SEC exclusive, I think there's a lot of people out there that want that figure back.
Oh, you already know. Are you kidding me? That figure is freaking ridiculous. I did pick up, like I said, I picked up the Ostrich set. I am going to break this out as well here in the next couple of days, and probably show that off maybe on Wednesday with 3-Star next week. But I did pick that up directly after the Savage Crucible line. I went directly right over to Fans Hobby, and I had to really reserve myself because in some of these other pictures I'm going to flash through, there was something really freaking cool there, and I know a lot of you guys know about it. But as Crow says, that Ostrich is awesome. Legend Series is in the house. What's up, bro?
What's up, Legend Series? Good to see you, brother. Darren, you asked earlier about the Wi-Fi for Savage Crucible. I believe the vendors are on a different network than everybody else.
They're on a convention network.
Yeah, so the convention will have a separate network for them because they know that all the transactions take place digitally these days. So they have to have a high-speed pipe for them. And unfortunately, it blocks everybody's regular signal unless you're on the facility's Wi-Fi or something like that, which is going to get overloaded with that many people there. So unless you're the vendor, you don't get that special access. You're kind of screwed on the Wi-Fi situation.
Yeah, and so I tried to go live in the beaver costume just for a minute, and as soon as I walked down the steps from the hallway upstairs, it absolutely just would not connect. And so even though you're a guest, you're right, it's a different Wi-Fi line for them.
Shane, with your Frazetta Ball and Chain figure, because it's not Conan, that's Frazetta Ball and Chain, that Savage Crucible figure, what card did you get? Because they all have cards in the back, because the first 3 waves all have cards in the back. The more current ones and the exclusives don't have cards unless they're like an Elric or something special like that. So there's a whole bunch of Pathfinder related cards with stats and stuff and artwork on them. And the whole list is on the Savage Crucible website.
So the other pickup, I did get some t-shirts and I'll be wearing them over the next few streams or whatever. So I'm going to just break them out. But I think really my last main pickup, I'm pretty sure. So you guys know I love Fallout, and I don't get a chance to see many Fallout figures at all ever in the wild. And I look them up online, and I found a deal on this one that usually is about $100, 115, 120, something like that. And I picked up this New Vegas 2-pack with the Riot Ranger armor and the Benny with the platinum chip in his hand.
Nice.
And it was one of only 3 Fallout figures that I could find while I walked around the entire weekend. And so I got it on basically, I think, the first night, maybe second, I think first night. But HK Viper, how you doing? There you go. That's beautiful, dude. We got a little news coming up here as well.
Some Conan news.
Got a little Conan news we're going to bring up here in just a little bit. And so that was really kind of like my pickups. Again, I
Nice.
tell you guys, I go there for the people.
Yeah.
I go there to hang out and meet new people that show up every year and see old friends, and so that's kind of what for me is most important. Let's see here. See if I can bring up this folder real quick, and I will
So,
just flash
sh-
through some more pictures.
sure, Shane. Just so you
Yeah.
know, most the figures that have cards, the cards will be behind the card back. In the case of Ball and Chain, it's the map. So between the map and the box, there it's like an insert. There'll be a silver foiled plastic thing that will have a card in it, and the newer ones will only have text on the back. The older ones actually have like Pathfinder statistics, so you can actually role play with them for whatever the character is. But and Elric
Oh yeah.
has 5 cards, so I have 4 of the 5.
Nice.
And the other one is just a different version of Elric in a different pose. But you know, they're doing so much for collector stuff. It's awesome. I have been really satisfied and happy with all of their stuff. So I'm glad you got to experience some of that joy yourself and get yourself an Elric. So awesome.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay. So I'll flow through a few other picks here. Boom. There you go.
There it
Stanley
is.
took this one. I did a quick kind of Billy on the Street 10 question with Lenny, and I'll be posting that up. I want to make sure the audio is tightened up a little bit. It's those little lav mics, whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, they just sometimes they pop a little bit, and so there is a little bit of maybe not. It just crunches a couple times. It's early. It's not the whole time. It's very early. Very
Is
early.
the lav mic omnidirectional or is it unidirectional? Is there a cone that it picks up, or is it like everything?
It I believe it is. It has kind of a cone. I mean, it's just a condenser mic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And if you got a screen on it, but before we left, I damn sure could not find not only the thing you can connect to your phone with it, but the damn windscreens. So 3 Star brought his connector, but my little fuzzy, furry windscreens, I couldn't find them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna make sure the audio is good. I'm gonna post this interview tomorrow. It's fun. It's about 2.5 minutes long.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun to do with him, and he was really nice, man. Really generous with his time all weekend, obviously, day or night. And it was a fun little interview, and I think he enjoyed it because we didn't really talk about toys, and that was what was so cool about it. Yeah, as Stanley blocked traffic, 610 Yojo Daddy was filming for me, and I had a great time hanging out with him too, man.
So you got the top-down perspective.
Yeah, right. It's good, man. But
Nice.
really fun, and he was really receptive to it. There's Stanley hanging out, chugging Gatorade, taking a break. There's Clint with his wife and their child. Little boy is very active little kid, and I can understand with all that stimulation why. But I had to get a photo of the family. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the dino, the Mesozoic, right? These are really freaking cool. I do love these, so I want to get a few pics of these in here.
Now, who's making those creative beasts, or is that?
I can't
or is
remember. I know the chat will know.
Is that? So there's Beast of the Mesozoic, which I believe isn't that boss fight or something.
No,
I don't know.
Let's see. Hang on.
So there's a couple different competing lines because I know. Was it Savage Beast is working with
I saw the Savage Beast stuff.
And they're working with Savage Crucible.
Yeah, Creative Beast.
Creative Beast, sorry.
Beast, yeah.
Creative Beast is
okay.
So Creative Beast is working with Harvinger Studios to make dragons for Savage Crucible. And Savage Crucible has had these 3 dragon heads that they've been taking around to the conventions all the time to hint at it. But they're partnering with them to get them to make some dragons for them, like they did with Fish Toys to make the Death Dealer.
Well, anybody that knows, and again, I rely on you guys because you guys know more than I do, just how cool these freaking things are. Unfortunately, man, with so many competing lines and price points and stuff, it's tough. It's really tough to tack on add another thing to
Yeah,
your
you got to pick your niche and figure out what it is and
right.
stick to your guns.
Yeah, and as Crow says, the was a skeleton dinosaur was really cool, very well tooled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just just cool stuff. Okay, Wave
Now,
2 when it
oh,
comes out, you can get either the three figures, you can get the car, or you can get the three figures and the car.
so I think Ace is doing an amazing job with this. And you
It's
know what?
incredible.
You know what's also amazing is that, was it last year or the year before? Somebody was kicked out and banned from JoeFest, never coming back because they had that flag on a custom vehicle that they put in the custom vehicle contest. And now Ace is throwing this out there, and nobody says a freaking
Yep,
thing.
absolutely. And you know what? I hope
And
that stays
I know,
that way.
I know exactly which person it was who made the stink to get that person banned from the convention.
Well, that's a shame. Like I said, there were people wearing General Lee hats and shirts, and they're selling merchandise and whatever.
Yep.
So hopefully that's not the case now, and we can just kind of move on with it, right?
I would hope so. I mean,
This thing is. I mean, the sheen, the gloss on the paint finish is just
that looks amazing.
incredible. It's just incredible. And so I had to
And
get a shot of it,
you
of
know
course.
what? If I ever got my hands on that, I'd have to recreate the scene where Bo slides across the hood and impales his leg on the antenna for the car, and he almost punctured a femoral artery, and so they had to redesign the antenna for the car to that wired one that hooks back.
Yeah.
Over
Yep.
the top, because them sliding over it all the time, that regular antenna went right through his leg.
Yeah, it's dude, this I mean, it's one of the most iconic cars in the history of American television, like
Yeah.
or movies. Smoking the Bandit car being right up there as well. Obviously, the Knight Rider car. Went
So
ahead and
now the
grabbed
question is, do the doors open?
well, they shouldn't.
They should not.
They
Correct.
shouldn't. But I don't know how
No, I
that's going
know,
to
I
work.
know.
And I didn't get any, I didn't get any time. Didn't get any time with what's up, Evil Dookie, and actually got his new sticker and the Dookie pin,
Nice.
Dookie head. And
So,
I got
sorry,
so many
Tony.
stickers.
I get the two of them confused. I always think Bo's the one with the dark hair.
Oh no, that's our boy Luke. See,
Yeah.
down here in the South, we know them things, Matthew.
Well, yeah, Luke Skywalker had blonde hair, so all the Lukes in my mind forever have blonde hair. I mean,
Yeah, and 3-star, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do the early bird, unfortunately. I thought I was going to be able to do early bird, but I'm not going to be able to do early bird on that because of the trip. But it is what it is, definitely. And yes, the pictures can testify, Clint, you did have the hat on, brother. And I love that hat, too. That's why I had to get some pictures with you. So let me get through these. A couple of them, man, I had War Chest kind of adjust my digital camera, my Sony,
Yep.
and I wasn't used to using it the way that he set it up, and so it was really fighting me on trying to focus,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so I had to go back and change
Who's
it back.
who's is that Ramen's mock-up
It-
of the Mauler?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Did he have any comment on Rowdy Toys version?
Um, I did not have that conversation with him. I will
Yep.
tell you, 3-star did post a video
Okay.
of him. I think it was maybe 9 minutes long. 3-star is what you said, I believe. And maybe that did get brought up. I have not seen it yet. I'll be
So-
watching it here tonight.
That's cool. I know that Aces is going to be injection molded. It's going to be plastic.
Yes,
so
yes, he talked about
that's
talked about that. I did
gonna be the
hear him
big
talking
difference.
about that at the time, and it might have
Yep.
been with Tony actually,
Mm.
if I remember correctly. But I'm not sure. But he was talking about that as we were right there. And then Starfighter. I appreciate it. Check the replay. I know recapping with the JoeFest toy convention this past weekend. We are going to get into some of the Hollywood stuff here in just a few minutes, but definitely wanted to kind of highlight the convention. But hey, appreciate it. And check out the replay. Let's see here. So as Crow said, he said he was happy to see Rowdy's version. He wanted to see Injection versus 3D.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there you have it.
yeah. And then Shane said he saw a picture of them side by
Picture
side.
them side by
So
side.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
obviously you guys know who these are here, just not by name, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
and those are ramens.
yeah. Let me see.
Because
Yeah, pretty
there's one
sure.
other.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know the difference because I know there is one other company making Brave Star stuff.
I'm pretty sure because they were gathered
Okay.
with the photos I took. So I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, but I know again the chat will definitely tell me
Yep.
exactly because you guys know far more than I could ever. Here is unfortunately the best pick that came out of the group, and he
Mm.
showed it off. Now he did say one important part about this vehicle. You can put AA batteries in it. But however, because of all the LED lights, it will not be able to power up and run everything and open everything. He recommends you use, at least at the same time or however you want to do it, he recommended having it powered up through USB.
Yeah.
That's the best way. He made a mention of that, made sure to tell people who asked, because I was right with somebody who asked, and he was like, yeah, there will be a compartment, but your best bet is to hook this up through USB power, and that way you get all the lights. They're not dimmed or anything like that. So
See,
that was a comment.
he should have made it 9 volt. Then you wouldn't have had that problem.
Yeah, hey, I say go for D batteries, but
D
that's just
batteries,
me.
yeah. I mean, go for the D's, man.
Boss fight with their Hellboy.
Now this is awesome.
Angular, very cool looking. I love that almost cell shade kind of thing, cell shade thing going
Well,
on.
and this is
Or
the
at least,
one of the only figures I've ever seen where cell shading actually looks good on. It's
yeah, it
like
looks cool.
because it's so stylistic as it is. I just wish that the accessory pack wasn't sold out, and the pre-orders are almost gone for the main figure.
Yeah, it looks good though. I ain't gonna lie. In person, it really looked good. Clint said I already saw this at Motuniverse, so I had already pre-ordered kit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and I am happy for you, brother. Trust me. Take a few other pictures from Boss Fight here. This thing, I just thought the detail on the trunk was
yeah.
incredible.
That looks better than anything that they have done to this point in terms of detail.
Really neat.
I hope that they're up in their game. I know that they're stuck on this hacks modularity thing to pop and swap and do all this stuff, but
Right.
I have a lot of frustrations with the Red Sonja figure. I love it, but I also hate it at the same time. And it's kind of my issue with some of their stuff going forward is it going to be that janky? Is it going to fall apart? Is it going to only last a couple of years before the joints are no good and they're all floppy? You're paying a lot of money for these figures. They're at the higher end of these figures.
Shane says a lot of money for that scale.
It's a lot of money, and they're you look at Savage Crucible and they're banging out quality that's going to last and endure as Rob's building it,
right?
And they're at a lower price point.
Well,
even for their licensed stuff.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I mean, Boss Fight. Look, I don't know as far as the size of the company and what kind of capital they're working with and all that kind of stuff. Getting licenses.
They're bigger than Savage Crucible.
Okay, well then there you go. So maybe that's something they need to tighten the fuck up. But nonetheless, I had to get this for you. I thought this was in the lighting. I thought it was just a great freaking photo.
Man, and I don't know if you got to talk to Sam, but he was at DFW, and all the guys at that table are pretty awesome. That vehicle there, if you don't have one, you need one. Everybody needs one. This is one of the greatest toys of all time.
Yeah, you'll hear that from most everybody that has it. Then I went by Fans Hobby and snatched up some of the different colors they have here. The Air Eagle, and then you have the Thunder, the Uni Thunder, and then this, man.
Now, I heard he had was it him? Did he have a black one?
He did.
Oh, man.
He did. And this one, and I'm like, think if Monkey Wrench is driving this thing.
Yeah.
Like, just the color. And so I was so close. I mean, I was so close, but I was like, I just can't. I can't do it.
I got
can't
it.
do it.
Yeah,
Cypher 6-3, what's up?
What's
Good
up?
to see ya. But it looks so damn cool like this. I love all the
on it. Same time, just to go back to what you're saying there, they're not 1/18th. Those are their 1/12th. So if it says Epic Hacks, it's 1/12th. If it says Vitruvian Hacks, then it's 1/18th or 4 inch. So
Okay.
so just so you know, those Conan figures and the elephant figure is based off of the 1/12th scale. So he's pretty big. I mean, he's like a foot tall or whatever.
Crow, you got the black version of this, or Ed, my bad, Ed. Yeah, the black attack version. Yeah, I mean it looked
Nice.
great, dude. It looked great.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that locust is super cool. Here's the lantern ostrix here, and then some kind of gray test shots here of some of the product from Fans Hobby, obviously, and then a little bit wider angle here of some cool stuff. There
So
he is, 610. Yo, Joe Daddy,
what's
what's
up?
up? Lick that like button. Hell yeah.
So is Fans Hobby getting into making shipping crates?
I don't know, man. I didn't have that conversation. I'm sure many did, and somebody may put it here. Now, I did not get the name of these guys, but they do obviously
Yes,
customs with
those are
these things are
sweet.
amazing. They're LED.
They're so
You don't have to
sweet.
worry about burn in on them. They're really, really cool. And so for people, especially with doing photography, man, like these things just looked amazing, absolutely amazing. And you can obviously, you know, display the screen on there. Yeah, Otherworld Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, it's just cool shit, man. I mean, it's just really cool shit. I think it's amazing,
Yeah,
touchscreen. Here is
this
again
was cool too.
yes, this thing is amazing. Just the different decks on it, and then you could just go through and take your different pictures and set up, with your mess hall and your kitchen, just the different areas in this thing, medic bay. It's barracks. I mean, it's just really neat, man. Like super neat. Briefing room. I mean, this thing is amazing.
Yeah.
And was just so awesome to see there. This thing right here. I think this thing is this the who are these guys? A Cerebrus maybe, or is this? They make the toys that have the VHS cases as the packaging.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
can't
don't know.
remember, and I know you guys will, but this thing was amazing as just a display setup.
Yep.
Just a super cool, fun thing to have out.
Tony, I'll tell
Grindhouse, Grindhouse
Grindhouse.
toys.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Tony, I will tell you that Hasbro's policies on that stuff have changed over time. If you go back to the early 2000s, even the early 2010s through 14, 15, 16-ish, it was totally different, and Hasbro could come down and have a good time at conventions. Of course, they only went to JoeFest. I mean, not JoeFest, JoeCon, because they licensed stuff out and partnered with them, with Ryan Savage and that, to do those conventions. So it still was a controlled environment, but Hasbro will never allow their employees to go to conventions again unless it's
Well,
SDCC.
and also too, you have other.
There's a
I
lot
don't
of
know how it
money.
all works with companies making other stuff that's like basically licensed. You know what I mean? It's like they
Well,
don't have the same name, but it's like
it's
exactly looks like it. You don't know if you get like cease and desist kind of stuff going
right,
on,
and
right? I
so
mean,
so
kind of ruins it for everybody.
they could go around and hunt down some stuff like that and nail
Right,
some people.
right,
But also at the same time, they have to go where it's cost effective for them to go, and so
right.
they have to move a lot of product for it to be worthwhile for them to go.
Well, considering you have a freaking convention named after one of your major products, it's kind of weird. But I
Yeah.
mean, we can debate the ins and outs of all that and cost for a multi-$100 million company, billion-dollar company, whatever. But what I found funny is you'll see Duke at the bottom, flayed
Yeah.
open, hanging from chains,
Yeah.
and Once a Man Cobra Commander at the
Uh-huh.
bottom left, flayed open, hanging from chains in the World War Hell.
Yep.
And I just love this, man.
That
Like
was
these are
cool.
pretty wild figures, man. Just fun ideas, from
I
these
got to ask
companies.
Tony, who the hell's Mason? Who's Mason in the chat?
I'll let
Are
you
you
guess.
are
I'll
you
let
trying
you
to talk?
guess.
Are you trying to talk to me? Because that's not my name.
Nope. I'll let you guess who he is. I know who he is, but I'll let you
Okay.
guess. But I'll tell you in a minute, unless Tony puts it in there. But I know who it is. So there's Steve Martin in War Chest hanging
Okay,
out.
yeah,
That
that's
was
what I thought. Okay.
as on Saturday, hanging out with those guys, just chilling out. And And so yeah, man, just another roll of picks just to go through. And that's 6'10" Yojo Daddy, by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way, is
yeah.
Mason. So
I saw that.
yeah, I figured you caught it, but it's like, all right, well, okay. And yeah, it's look. I mean, I think we know that, right? But it's like, damn, they got the crack, right? They got the name brand crack. We talk about it a lot. I know a lot of you guys talk about it.
I'm
And
just getting more and more frustrated with it
I
everything that comes out,
I get it.
and I will tell you this happens with every line, because in 2009, 10, when POC came out, they were at the peak of their game, and then the 4-inch kind of had its little ups and downs, but it was fairly good. The 25th was okay, but the end of the line, the 50th stuff, a lot of that stuff is really bad.
Right.
And GI Joe has been going up and down this whole time, and so you get a cool figure like this, and then you get an airtight with mismanaged parts, and so you go back and forth with all this stuff.
Right.
But I'm getting increasingly more and more frustrated with them.
Well, you're not alone. That conversation, definitely comes up, and when you talk to other people and you kind of see the other vendors and you see the product they're making and some of the strides they've made over the last few years, it's
the care they put into stuff.
Yeah, right. And they just don't have the capital, right? They don't have the capital and the marketing and just all the ins and outs that a large corporation that's been doing this for God knows how long, is entrenched, right? And so that's what's difficult about it. Yeah, so I did want to say one more thing before we kind of wrap up. I know you guys are going to see a lot of JoeFest recaps over the next few days, and far more pictures and especially about the toys and those discussions than I could ever give you guys. Matthew could probably just take all of it and just do the show by himself, to be honest with you, at this point, if it was about that. But the one thing I do want to say, there's always talk about, like, from multiple people I hear in comments and stuff about, just about the different conventions, right? And by the way, Johnny Reno said he left a comment in the stream, but it disappeared.
Oh, I didn't see
Did you
it.
see that anywhere? Because
no, I didn't.
I knew Johnny was going to be watching. I was going to say something about it.
I was watching.
But,
I didn't see anything come up
that.
on StreamYards or anything.
Well, Johnny, I apologize for that, and I don't know how it disappeared, because I damn sure wouldn't make your comment disappear, brother. You know that.
Now, it would still show up in our StreamYard if it went through, even if YouTube pulled it, and I didn't see anything.
But yeah, check and see if you see anything. But nonetheless, so there's all every convention is different in my opinion, right? And they have different places to go. Some places are destination cities. And those destination cities, maybe when after the convention's over, people want to go out. They want to go somewhere. Like a Dallas, or maybe a San Diego, or maybe in New York, or maybe wherever. And then you got a place like Augusta, and honestly, like Augusta, man, it's not a destination city.
No.
And I wouldn't recommend going out after dark. I'm just being honest. And so, to me, staying on campus, being able to stay on campus, is advantageous if you do go to something like JoeFest. I will say this. I have not been to really any other conventions. I do know this one, and I do know that overall, it seems like everybody does have a pretty good time. And people do hang out and they talk afterwards. And yes, it is a little bit like a high school cafeteria. We're grown men. And sometimes, it seems like, being introduced to people you don't know, or maybe different people gravitate towards other people, right? I mean, it's just a fact of life, and you make these relationships and bonds and stuff like that. But what's so fun to me, and especially as a bartender, is like, I do like to kind of bounce around.
Yeah.
Right? Bounce around. And try to talk to as many people as I can, and spend as much good time with people as I can, and then hopefully someone else walks up, and then you can kind of break away and go find somebody else, right? And then they can talk to that person who walked up, right? And so it's a lot of that, at least to me,
right?
And it's just so much the most enjoyable part, because you hear about people's lives, not just about toys,
right?
And the toys are a component of it. But, people's lives and what they do, their families, meeting other people. I mean, this year people brought their wives even more so than any time before I can remember. And so, meeting people that have been in my chat, supported my channel, supported us on our streams, or me and 3 Star Draw, and all the other channels. It's just super, super freaking cool to see people and meet their families or meet them, really. And honestly, this year, there were a lot more people that I got to meet, and I think it's just because they see me on different streams and they saw my hat. And I told you, it's where I wear the hat. It's like, I have a very small channel. I don't expect anybody to recognize this channel for anything, right? But it makes it easier because I want to meet you guys, right? I want to meet people. And if it makes it as easy as possible to spot, then that's kind of what I wanted to do. And so I do, man. I love it. If I could have gone golfing, Tony, I absolutely would have. And then we would have got out there and we'd have been miserable.
Miserable because it's so hot.
Disgusting. But yeah, so for me, man, like the toys, yeah, they're awesome. The vendors are awesome. Spending time with Lenny and Corey down there and getting to talk to them like just regular dudes, no bullshit. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really fun, and so that was a treat. And so yeah, I encourage people to go to JoeFest. It was really busy. The Friday early bird was really busy. And at 5 o'clock, man, it was lined up and the line moved very quickly. But man, there was a bunch of people there. And I was like, holy shit. But very movable. Very movable, very open, plenty of space. So yeah, it is very enjoyable. Just Augusta's not a city you're gonna go hang out and do shit in. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's just kind of how it is. I didn't see Mother Slug either. There we go, man. It says Evening Pop and Matthew in the chat, or and Mamoos is what that's supposed to say.
Supposed to say, yeah.
It's all
There's
good.
2
I
M's.
know what you meant. And JoeFan84 is in the house. What's up, JoeFan84? Good to see you, brother. And then let's see, real quickly, just didn't want to miss anything, just in case.
Just chatting back and forth.
Yeah, right. Come to Phoenix, at least it's dry. Yeah, go early. That'd be great. I do plan on going to DFW next year. I have had an offer made to me in some shape, form, or fashion about going. And so I do plan on going to hang out at Dallas-Fort Worth next year because I want to check it out. I want to see, people going there and maybe run into some of the same folks. So hopefully I'll be able to do both shows next year. And that'd be fun because it just means meeting more people. That's the way I look at it. Joe Fan, hey, man, would have been cool if he was there. But hey, going to the beach sounds pretty damn good to me. It's a nice consolation prize.
Yeah.
And Crow says, I was mad I missed all of Friday's floor opportunities. Great vendors pass. Thanks to Top Fun Retro Toys, but too late to get there for the exclusives. Yeah, Crow, and I'm sure you guys will hear a lot about it tomorrow night on him and 3 Stars show, Backyard Battlefield on 3 Stars channel.
Now, Ryan, I'm pretty certain that everybody who had exclusives on the floor Friday had a reserved number for Saturday and possibly Sunday as well, because they don't put everything all out at once. So it's like Savage Crucible would say they have, let's say for JoeFest, for an example, I heard this number thrown out there, so I'll throw it out there. They had 20 Elrics per day for JoeFest.
So here's the deal. The thing about Crow that was so disgusting, not disgusting, what was sucked about it for him is that because of literally he was up for like 24 hours or whatever, that like his body had to adjust. And so trying to get in at 1 a.m. or 12 in the morning, 12:30, whatever time he walked in the hotel, and then trying to be back up and ready to go, right, is difficult. Sure. And so I can't remember if that's part of it, but you're right. Usually on Saturday also, possibly Sunday. But he definitely he was beat up, man. Like just a long day, Friday into Saturday, and just like the worst of circumstances, man. Like the worst of circumstances. Mother Slug says you'll most likely never see me at a con or a fest because the distance is too far. And I can't handle sitting in a car or plane for more than 2 hours. I lose it then. Well, you're not alone. I know a lot of people. You give them about 3 or 4 hours. That's about as much as they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dookie. Um, you know, I did not hear about that. Actually, is that a true story? Somebody was in Buc-ee's for 17 hours. Did they have to kick him out, or he didn't want
Was
to
it
leave?
what was it a football fan, a soccer fan who's here for FIFA?
I could totally see that, right? I could totally see that, especially now, right? Yeah, the exclusives had him held for each day. And yeah, Crow said he got some, but missed the gridiron. Gridiron.
Well, except for that alternate head, I don't know if that was if you had to be all in on that from BBTS or not, but he should be on BBTS.
3 stars, so right. So also too, and well, I don't want to spoil Crow's story. I don't want to tell too much. I mean, I know that it's in the chat there. You guys are probably reading it, but yeah, they luggage problems, other problems. Like, I want him to be able to tell that story tomorrow because that's part of the experience. So I don't want to spoil all the beans, for him. And yes, damn it, we sure as hell felt like we were there for 17 hours on the way home. Buc-ee's it's fun, but it's just it's a madhouse of just in.
You got to know what you're there for. You got to know what you're there for.
I can't even imagine living in a town with one. I'm like, do people go shopping there? Is it?
Yes, they do.
They just say, let's just go hang out at Buc-ee's for a couple hours and shop. And
it's the thing when you're in the middle of nowhere and you say, "Hey, we're going to Buc-ee's," and you get a crew together and you go to Buc-ee's for 3 hours because they've got nice restrooms, they got a lot of good food, they've got clothing and camping gear and whatever else that you might want to take home with you if you need it. Going out to the lake or whatever.
It's just, I mean, dude, you see all kinds of dress there, okay?
Oh yeah.
And I mean like different states of dress and or undress because people are traveling. Yep. So you might see a bra on or no bra on. I've got a couple of some, like, I don't know what was going on there. It's like, holy shit. It's so funny. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just like, what the? But alas, it is.
Yeah, 610.
It's worth it.
610. That Skeletron assault trooper looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. Everything there looks freaking awesome, man. I mean, it just does, and all laid out, vintage or otherwise, brand new or otherwise, concept, everything. And everybody's so nice, and I'm sure the vendors, they have these conversations nonstop. They're kind of anchored to the table there all day and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a good time, man. I recommend JoeFest. Just because I think it is fun. I hate some people have maybe had a bad experience or whatever going there sometimes or with some people, obviously,
Hey, as long as you don't get a whole video made about you that travels around the internet for years on end about you making a fist fight in the lobby, I think you'll be okay.
I think you'll be all right. Yeah, when it comes to the nipples, you got to take the bad with the good. It's true. You just got to take them when you can get them, I guess.
Speaking of which, did you see Elliot's boxing video?
Wait, stop.
I'm not joking. It's not.
I saw the video where I don't even these days. I can't even pretend. Ellen Page was talking about what it meant to be a man, what being a man was supposed to mean.
So
I don't know what the fuck that's all about.
So Page did a whole series of videos on boxing and how they've gotten addicted to boxing, and
that's great.
Shredded.
I'll check them out. Oh, shredded is definitely a word. Yeah. Shredded is a word.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I don't hate JoeFest. I'm not Chad or Bobby or anybody like that. Okay. I mean, they got their opinions on it. I don't have those opinions, but it's money and travel.
I wish you could go, but because of that, I do wish you could go because I know you would have a good time just because you know everybody. Yeah. But travel. I mean, it's difficult. Definitely difficult. There was some Hot Wheels people in the hallway upstairs. There wasn't really much in the way of the convention, but they showed up and kind of set up in the main long hallway that you have to walk down to get there.
I just got to say, stay away from those Hot Wheels people. They're crazy. They're as bad as the Pokemon people. They will stab you for stuff. I'm just saying, it's bad around here.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of scared. I mean, Crow nails it on the head. It was funny because when I was walking down on Saturday day, I think it was, I saw them setting up out there, and I was like, "Is it? Wait, what?" It's like,
yeah,
they're just in the hallway, and it was just table after table after table of Hot Wheels, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." Yeah, I think it was a planned get together. They didn't just show up in mass and be like, "We're taking over," and there were no fights. So there were no fights that I noticed anyway. Well, there was one fight. Somebody told me on their way out to dinner or something, they witnessed a couple of homeless guys like going at it like Tyson versus Holyfield.
Did somebody get an ear bitten off?
I don't know, but yeah, there was two homeless guys just going at it out on the sidewalks. Like, that's Augusta. Yeah, Justin Booth, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm not gonna be shopping there for sure. Not the people that were at the convention, right? Yeah. I mean, everybody's there for JoeFest. They were there for the convention, and for the Joes and other stuff. I don't think Hot Wheels were part of their plan.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and unless of course you wanted one of these.
Well, that's true. Now, see, that would be my that would be my choice of Hot Wheels and or like miniature car. I do like those though; they're cool.
Yeah, they are pretty neat. Hey, I found another two of them at my Walmart, the Sky Strikers at my Walmart the other day.
Really?
I don't need any more, but they're there.
I never see those. Mother Sucks has got 8 of them. I never see those things
So I have yet to see the Hiss in the wild. A friend of mine picked those up for me. He found them in the wild. But in my area, I haven't seen the Hiss tanks yet. But I have seen the Sky Strikers at this one Walmart that I've been to, and they keep getting more of them. So
the only thing I ever see there, I guess, is I guess I can see where Advanced Auto would have them, Ed. That makes sense.
Well, and I will tell you, HEBs around here have apparently had them.
Yeah, we don't really have those guys.
And here. Kroger.
I guess Kroger, you know what? Next time I go, I need to look and see, but that also makes sense. Maybe a Walgreens. I don't know. It's weird because I'd walk in Walgreens and I'd see like classified figures.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But I'd see like Cobra Commander. It's like, what the fuck is doing it?
I want to say that was the last. So they had the exclusive Red Ninja. So the Walgreens Red Ninja was an exclusive.
Okay.
It was a Walgreens exclusive, which is why not many people got the Red Ninja. And they were awful upset about it, which is why they reissued it as the Blue Ninja in the 2-pack that they did later on.
So it looks like
I want that Airwolf too. I want that Airwolf too.
Oh,
and I know it comes in that wave, so I've been looking for that tank wave.
It seems like everybody's finding them like at 3-Star City guys at Kroger, seen it at Walmart twice. And then let's see, Fury Force, new figures from Skeletron. Sure, I totally understand that. But Clint says good deals on Joe's at our local Kroger. That's wild.
Well, I've never seen a classified figure at Kroger, but
never. I always just saw like the little Roblox bullshit, stuff like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, and Advanced Auto Parts for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Evidently, that's the place to find them. Of course, you guys all know that. I'm the dumbass. So, good on me. So yeah,
my wife bought me the entire Airwolf series on DVD a couple of years ago.
Oh wow, wow. Well, I'm not going to get into it. I know there's some good stuff with it, right? Going back and watching it, but it also is 80s TV, right? Classic 80s television in some respects.
Oh yeah. So what did you think of the Fury Force release info stuff? Did you see any of that?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what that is?
I probably saw it. but I have no freaking
Okay.
idea. Like,
So Big Bad Workshop is partnered
oh, okay, I know what you're
with
talking about now. But go right ahead. Go right ahead. I do know what you're talking about now.
okay. They've partnered with Larry Hama to
Yes.
release a figure of him and a Fury Force. And Fury Force was the a pitch that Larry Hama had given to Marvel Comics about Nick Fury Jr., so Nick Fury's son, in Vietnam, and wanted to tell a whole story about a special ops team in Vietnam. And they said no, but they ended up turning that idea into G.I. Joe. And so he has the original sketch from 1981, and I have a color version of it. But they had to change some of the names because Spook, as you have up there, might not be as readily acceptable these days. But
yeah, I get it.
But he wrote it as Spook, as in he's a government guy who's in the shadows.
Right.
And so they changed that to Revenant. And then they changed the girl's name to Umbra instead. And they changed Top Kick from Nick Fury Jr. to Top Kick. But the other names, Jelly and Brujo and those kind of things, they stayed the same. So I think it's fascinating that this was his original pitch idea for G.I. Joe, and somebody's actually making figures. Now, Louie,
okay.
If you look at the sketch that Hama did of Louie in 1981, that's exactly this. He used the same pose in the sketch in issue 26 of G.I. Joe when they showed Tommy Arashikage in Vietnam. So that is absolutely who this character is. And so we know that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and Stalker are technically in this group because Jelly and Stalker have some things in common.
You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell that it's who that is. It's obvious who that is.
So they changed her name, but this is a whole new computer suitcase thing that they have for her, which is pretty neat.
It looks cool as shit. I mean, I like it. I like it. I mean, that's really.
If you want your Vietnam stuff, and so this is kind of who became Stalker. Is Jelly here? With obviously some modifications.
Now, Tony's saying the faces do look a little cartoony.
Now I don't know about these guys, but I think the Larry Hama action figure face is a little odd. I wish that they would have an alternate head that didn't have that goofy smile on his face.
Are these 112?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
There you go, Cypher.
This is Big Bad Workshop. They are moving away from the 4-inch figures because they just haven't sold as well as the 6-inch figures for them.
Stop it, 3-star. I'm sorry. That's funny as shit, Darren. So Top Kick, First Sergeant. I mean, they look cool to me. Look.
Now go back to this one real quick.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool.
I just have a comment on this. Okay, so Bobby Valla revealed his World War II figures, and in a lot of his World War II figures, he's got a Zippo lighter and a cigarette smoking hand.
Yes,
for his German troopers and his GIs, and so I don't know how long this has been in development or where this was, or if they added it real quick or not. But Top Kick here has that cigarette smoking hand as well.
So look, growing up, Vietnam for us, by the time we were old enough, and you're, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, right? That's fresh. A lot of movies are being made about POWs, like your Rambo type stuff, right? Stuff like that. So Vietnam, like as far as a war, and being a young kid, that was like, to me, was like the cool stuff to watch. The cool movies to watch, right? The cool heroes or whatever to read about or whatever. And then I became enamored with like World War II. And so, so I dig this. I definitely dig this kind of stuff.
Evil Dookie, I know it says Top Kick. I don't know if he's supposed to be a first shirt. I don't know if he's supposed to be a top sergeant or if he's a staff sergeant, because I don't know.
Yeah, I can't really. I mean,
I don't know if that's where he was supposed to be or not, because I don't know where Nick Fury Jr. fit in that, whether he was an officer or if he was a sergeant.
Yeah. Well, these do look pretty sweet. Your communications officer. I mean,
and so do you know the term brujo?
I do not.
Okay, brujo is a Mexican Latin term for shaman, a witch doctor, a mystic kind of person. And so it's funny that they give him that name. And everybody says, "You look like Burt Reynolds," and I go, "Well, not exactly." But I want to read his file card because his name is Brujo, and he's a communications guy. Is he communicating with spirits?
Right. I get it. What was that one movie? Talking to spirits over the radio.
Frequency.
Yes, Frequency. Right.
Yeah, but also Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the TV series. One of the characters in there became a brujo because his uncle was a brujo.
You guys are fucking hilarious.
Sorcerer. Okay.
Don't call me Francis.
Spirit talker and shaman all fit that vibe, man. So whatever.
I heard Nick Fury Jr. has his dad's eye. Get ridiculous. I swear to God. Okay. So look, we do have some movie news. And I've been looking at the number on the stream here. It's going to go down about 7.
Yeah.
I get it. And as Tony Sig says, a bruja is a witch.
Oh yeah.
There you go. It's a witch, bitch. Baby.
Makes sense.
So yes, I do have a little bit of some news. Would you want to get just straight into Supergirl? And I'll bring up the numbers to coincide with it because it's really ugly.
And I mean, this has got to be hugely embarrassing. And from what I understand, the executives are shocked at how bad it's doing.
How could they be shocked? If they saw this movie at a screening before it came out, there is no way in the world any executive could take that.
Do you understand how much cocaine they blow off each other's asses every day?
No, I firmly believe that.
I mean, they have their heads shoved so far up each other's asses, it's not even funny. They don't get to smell anybody's farts but the people around them, right? I mean, they only talk to the same people over and over again, so it's a huge echo chamber. So of course they were expecting it to do wonderfully well because they have all the metrics for it to do well, except for the fact that they didn't hire a writer who has any experience, except for they didn't hire an actress who knew how to act. Except for they didn't hire a showrunner, a brand manager that knew anything about superheroes.
It's to me, and I just kind of want to bring it up because, they were talking about domestically looking at like $55 million. And in 4 days, I mean, it's got right at 40. I mean, it's pretty. I mean,
sad. if you adjust for inflation, this has to be probably the worst opening ever. I mean, not literally, but
not literally, but for
this is a huge embarrassment to everyone. And there were people before it came out that were touting the fact if it makes 300 million, it's a success. Well, okay, they may consider it a success, but it hasn't made money yet. It hasn't been profitable yet.
There's no way it's going to make money.
It cannot. If people are speculating that it's not even going to make 200 million because it's going to be dropped to number 3 or 4 this next weekend.
No, I don't think it's going to get to $200 million. There's no way.
What comes out this week?
You have let's see, what is upcoming that we know of? Go ahead, I'll bring up the list.
Isn't it the Minions movie and Spider-Man No Way Home? I mean, sorry, A Brand New Day.
That's the 31st of July. So you've got a little bit of time.
Of July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that you got a little bit of time. But Minions comes out on the 1st.
Minions comes out on the 1st. What else comes out on the 1st?
And then after that, Young Washington, no one's going to see that. Alpha,
no one's going to see that.
No one's going to see that. Secret Treasure, Moana, July 10th, live action.
Okay, but as of this weekend, it's really only the Minions.
It's really Minions.
Okay, yeah. So Minions will dominate the box office this weekend. 100%. Right, and we already know that Spider-Man: A Brand New Day has already made more money than Supergirl. This is pre-sales.
Pre-sale tickets.
Pre-sale tickets have proven that it has already made more money than Supergirl has.
If you are planning to go see Spider-Man opening weekend, if you have not bought your tickets yet, you are shit out of luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not kidding. Unless you find one where you're in the front row.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally is going to be it's you're gonna have a hard time finding a ticket to that, regardless of your price point. So second weekend, if you haven't bought tickets for Spider-Man, it's gonna be probably second weekend or midweek for you. You know, if you can go. But opening weekend can be extremely difficult to go to. Mo2 still getting decent amount of theaters, but it's just not bringing in the money. I mean,
it doesn't have the legs that it needs.
No.
I'm happy that people like it. I'm glad that Amazon has declared it successful for what it wanted to do, or what its expectations were. I'm glad that they're working on other projects within the property, because I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Yeah. And Eric, I want to say, I want to see Young Washington also. Based on the trailers and based on the inconsistency of the company who's making it, and based off the trailers, if you talk to a historian, they're going to tell you there's so much wrong with this that they don't know if they're going to get past it. And that they're historians; they have a different perspective on things, so they're taking things very literally. Yes. But at the same time, I know Angel Studios wants to tell a good story. And they want it to be timed properly. And I think there'll be some part of that will have some success with it initially. But word of mouth is going to be what's going to carry it or kill it after this first week.
Okay. And a couple comments in here, and then I want to get to what the media was saying about Supergirl. Okay, the positivity spin on Supergirl.
Oh, yeah. I showed you a couple things.
So you did. And so I'm going to bring that up. Eric also says Supergirl equals Snow White. I think some of that with Millie Alcock, I don't think it's exactly the same.
No, it's not the same. But it's
do
very
think
similar.
That she made some ill-advised comments that just took on a life of their own, and I think the media now, mainstream media, has somewhat turned on these studios to an extent. And I think there's a reason why. Because they see YouTubers getting more traction than them who are critical of this shit. And now they're like, well, maybe we need to jump on that train. I honestly believe that.
Look, I mean, how did the 24-hour news cycle get so popular and generate so much ratings? Because they always focused on the negative, right? So,
right.
Critics are going to get the attention.
Just to me, I think they're looking at these YouTube channels and they're going, how are these people getting millions of views for video and stuff like that? They're not going to our websites. They're not clicking on our shit.
No, because they want real opinions from real people.
Well,
and if you have authenticity, you have the new currency.
So Cypher63 says, I don't know how they greenlit it a third. And I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. It says, I don't know how they greenlit a third and arguably fourth tier character as a tentpole movie for the brand. No way they didn't see this coming. And that's because James Gunn is fucking stupid. Take Creature Commandos. Take Peacemaker. Okay? Take Supergirl.
Clayface.
Take Clayface. Whether that's a cool body horror movie or not, this is how you're launching your DCU.
Look, and everybody has said it from the beginning, and you have to understand that there is a certain expectation. And if you defy that expectation, it's been proven over and over again, it fails. Rian Johnson, you wanted to subvert expectations and you killed a fucking brand. You killed the brand with that movie because you fractured it. And then as time went on, it got worse and worse and worse. It just completely shattered into the nothingness that it is now. If you don't meet expectations for the general populace, for 80 to 90% of the fan base, you're going to miss out. What does 80 to 90% of the people who even understand what the term DC Comics means is? Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
There you go. That's it.
That's it. That is it. Okay? You did Superman. It was meh. Okay? There were people that are going off the deep end loving it because they're crazy. There are people going off the deep end hating it because they're crazy. There's people in the middle going, it had good parts, it had bad parts. It was just meh.
I mean, the bottom line is that what you're saying, I mean, is true. Like to reinvigorate, you have to start with what normies know.
Right.
You have to start with what the main fans also know.
Right.
And you can't start out as Cypher's saying about doing third and fourth tier characters. You just can't launch a brand that way.
And even if you think that this Superman thing is going to bleed over into Supergirl, well, guess what, folks? The most unlikable thing in the entire world, okay, is a drunk, sloppy bitch, okay? And that's who she was at the end of Superman. It's exactly who she was at the end of Superman, right? And now you're going to base a whole movie on this character that everybody was turned off, everybody hated at the end of Superman. There was nobody that said, I want to see more of that character. Everybody was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's, nonetheless, it obviously has not performed. We showed off some of her interviews last week.
She's not doing any favors.
Clint, I will say this. I think Spider-Man not only took over, he's been the #1 worldwide hero, I think, for a long time now.
So honestly, I would go back in time and say it was Superman until it became Spider-Man. And I would say in the late 80s, early 90s, worldwide, it became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man has held on to that worldwide presence of a superhero that people relate to because Peter Parker was always somebody that could be related to.
Yeah, and I think just, with him and also Spider-Man for the most part is fun. Fun character. Batman is brooding. You have many takes on him that have been taken over the years in graphic novel form or the comics, and they're generally go very dark. And so I think, I agree. Stu, what's up to you? Stu for lunch. What's going on, man? 3-star, I do also have some good memories with some drunk, sloppy bitches, but also I have a lot of bad ones because I had to babysit them dumb hoes. All right.
You got to hold their heads up. You got to go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Echo chamber boss girls. Really quickly, and then we got to jump into these. JoeFan84, tipping your couch over to get rid of a snake. I am not envious of you, hopefully. And it probably is just a little garden snake, right? You know what I mean? So hopefully it wasn't nothing too serious for you, but having to get it out of your couch, that's a pain in the ass. You don't want to go to bed with that in your house.
No, not so much.
Freaky.
Man, I was young and I came home once. My sister was watching me. She's about 8.5 years older than me, and she found a snake in the kitchen, and she was trying to stay out of the kitchen and call my mom to get her running home. My mom came running home from her job, and she had to go take a pan and a lid and scoop this snake up inside the lid and screaming through the house.
Wow.
Asking me to open up the back door. So I had to slide open the glass door so she could throw this giant snake that was in our kitchen out the back door. And I will never forget that experience. And I'm sure, I imagine the snake being huge, but I imagine it was just a black garter snake.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bitty one. Yeah, little bitty one.
Even though I live in Copperhead country.
Yep. Well, we got some funky ones down here too. So here's the deal. I want to move through these quickly. This is the media. This is the positivity.
This is the craziest fucking thing I ever saw. I was like, man, this is copium to the max.
Yeah, Millie Alcock is a force to be reckoned with. Eve Ridley is also incredible. Jason Momoa is pitch perfect as Lobo, one of the best DC films. This is from Geeks of Color. I'm sure we've all heard of Geeks of Color, right?
Of course.
I've
actually watched some of their videos.
And let me guess. Geeks of Color, the name is on the nose.
Sure, but
okay.
they
I don't care about that.
Some
I just was like,
say,
interesting name for a channel.
But I will say this: the consistency for this is that people have said, "Oh, we liked Millie's performance. We liked Jason Momoa's performance. They were the two best things in the entire movie." Well, when you cast Jason Momoa to play Jason Momoa, so he can be Jason Momoa. I mean, I'm sure it's going to work out for you because he always is Jason Momoa, and I mean, he's clearly playing Jason Momoa.
Dude, that's literally what he plays in everything. Except for Game of Thrones, unless Jason Momoa couldn't speak English at that time.
If you ask me, he was still Jason Momoa.
I can't argue with that. Maybe just was drunk, you know. No, I mean, look, Cal Drogo, you know, that's a fun character early
I
on.
mean, he's played some fun characters, and I like his
Right.
characters that he plays.
So,
but to be fair, the way he played Aquaman was Jason Momoa
so
because he was always Lobo and should have always been Lobo.
Well,
and was miscast as Aquaman, but should have always been Lobo.
But let's also not dance around the fact that most people don't know who the fuck Lobo is. Right. They don't.
And okay.
Yeah, this movie has Lobo. So fucking what? I don't give a shit. I don't know. Lobo doesn't mean shit to me.
Sure. They had the best template for Lobo ever. Have you ever seen Superman the animated series?
Oh, of course.
So when they introduced Lobo into Superman the animated series, all they had to do was switch Clark for Kara and say he thinks that she's the last Kryptonian and he's hunting her down. And then they have this adventure with the Collector and all these other things. You could have had an amazing story if you had just fucking copied that one and used Kara instead of Clark in the event.
Yeah, you know, the bottom line is that most people, again, don't really know who Lobo is, no matter how cool he is. And yeah, he does have a cool ass bike, you know, but like I wouldn't know that really, to be honest with you, and could remember it here or there. You know, when you bring up an image or you tell me remember this, but in all honesty, like again, we're talking about third and fourth tier.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
no, it's not
that everybody knows, and so that's the difficult parts about it. You know, to me, is when you're you know, and like Joe Fan says, you know, and Cooking with Eric says no clue who Lobo is.
So to tell you who Lobo is, he is a space biker bounty hunter who goes around and he's pretty much invincible. He can only be killed by someone of his own species. He's the last of his species. And so his first encounter with Clark is he's going around hunting down the last of his species for this person who's collecting species. He's collecting species before they go extinct. So he wants the very last Kryptonian, which is Clark Kent. Right. But in the process, he's also the last of his species. So the Collector wants both of them. And he's tricking Lobo into getting a piece for his collection while he's collecting both of them. That's the story initially. But Lobo's a fun biker bounty hunter. I mean, he's Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog the Bounty Hunter wanted to be.
And I mean, totally cool. But, you know, the movie's not about Lobo, and he's in it for maybe 5 minutes. So there you go. You know, so Supergirl channels the energy of Gunn's Superman while carving out its own identity. That's Peter Gray. We have Hey Chalice. Everybody's heard of Hey Chalice, right? Momoa
just like Philosophy Tube, right?
Yeah, right. Momoa was born to play Lobo. Corin Sweat is so charming in his scenes. The heart of the film is Crypto and his relationship with Kara. Okay, look. Crypto. I'm over Crypto.
Okay,
I was over Crypto with Superman.
Only James Gunn can make people hate a dog.
That's sad, but it's
only
true.
James Gunn.
It's sad but true. And people that have seen this movie know that, like, all they do with Crypto is make it because he's not trained, and so he just tears shit up. That joke gets fucking old after a couple of scenes, and they make another movie with scenes with him tearing shit up. It's just goofy. It's all CGI. There's nothing about the dog that's real. So there, you know, if you guys remember, even in Superman, but when there's scenes when he's getting hit and stuff like that, it just doesn't look normal. Now, I know they're not going to beat a dog up, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that when you do CGI for the dog, then yes, it ends up looking goofy. And on top of that, it's a dog that, like you said, people are they just don't like this fucking dog. It's not even the right breed.
It's not the right breed, no.
Millie Alcock is the perfect Kara. This film is filled with gorgeous set pieces and dazzling action.
The perfect Kara? I believe Melissa Bonoy, or however you say her last name, people would say is a better Kara than
I'd
her.
say that this film, even in the trailers, you can look at it. The cinematography is awful. The faces are all backlit and dark. You can't fucking see shit. Each planet looks the same. It looks it's brown.
So
it's just
hold
brown.
on, time out for just a second. Now, I haven't seen the movie yet, but the cinematographer is an award-winning cinematographer, and I believe he said, "I'm fucked. This writer doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. This director doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
It's possible.
I'm just gonna throw shit up there, and whatever." So he could have purposely tanked his performance as a cinematographer just to get out of the job, because I know that cinematographer is actually extremely talented.
Man, you wouldn't do that to your career, Matthew.
You know what, and so he probably tried, but I would imagine that the director changed.
It was
things.
a vision. It was the director,
The director and the writer tanked this movie.
Like you said earlier, when you fucking hire an actress who hasn't written shit, who penned originally the Supergirl script from the Supergirl from the Flash, that went through 3 different iterations. It had 3 different endings because of 3 different regime changes at the time. And then they scrapped that movie. And then she supposedly, Ana Aguirre, the writer of this film, competed with other writers. And they still went with her because they liked her treatment of this story. But
she's a glorified script doctor.
It's sad. I'm not going to lie to you either. I haven't seen the film. You know what I did do? I watched a 5-hour breakdown of this film that had the film playing in the background.
Yeah.
So you could still see the film. 5 hours.
Eric brings up a great point there. No character arc. And the actress even stated this in an interview. The character starts and ends in the same place.
There's no love interest. It has nothing to do with that. And that doesn't even be your arc.
Anything.
It doesn't need to be your thing. But the thing of it is that, yes, okay, if you want to say at the end she realizes that she wants to stay on Earth and help Clark, fine. But that's not really a character arc. She doesn't really grow or change during the film. And as a matter of fact, she preaches about not I mean, I don't know if you guys care about spoilers. She preaches about telling Ruthie, about killing Krim, and then she turns around and starts to walk off, and then she kills Krim. And the thing of it is that they literally said that the book that it's based off of, that at the end of it, as Ruthie's very old, she takes her sword and she kills Krim. And that's not true. That's not what happens in the book, Woman of Tomorrow. She has a cane and she taps him on the head in the Phantom Zone, and it's implied, but he's not dead. It's not even implied that he's dead.
Yeah.
He's a changed man at the end. He's old as shit. He's been walking through the Phantom Zone. Supergirl takes her there. Ruthie's old as shit. And she fucking hits him with her cane and knocks him on the ground. And then they walk away. But they misinterpreted it as her killing Krim at the end of the book. And that's not what happened.
So here's the thing that I have a problem.
They didn't even read the book. They said specifically.
No, they clearly didn't, because in so many levels they even defied what Tom King wrote, and Tom King wrote a piece of shit book.
Right, exactly.
But they defied even what he wrote to make an even shittier movie. And I'm sure Tom King is going to even say how shitty it is eventually. But every one of these superhero movies that has come out in the past 10 years, really 10 years, since that phase 4 of Marvel, after Infinity War, every single hero that they've introduced has been a villain. If you define what a villain origin story is, it would be exactly what they are saying is a hero's origin story. They have no accountability. They have nothing but themselves. They rely on themselves and only themselves to determine what is right and wrong. They rely on only themselves to say, I am good with me, so I'm good. And I can do whatever I want because I have all the power and I think I'm the righteous one.
Now you have to point that out sometimes for people because when they're watching something like something we're going to talk about here in just a second for just a couple moments, is when you see these characters, especially female characters introduced, because they're strong and they're independent, right? And that's what is most important to the writer in particular. What happens is they make you think that's a strong character, that's a good character. And then you realize when you look at their actions and how they treat people, what they do, you realize that they're not good people. They're not
narcissistic,
heroes.
Selfish people.
Exactly. But they'll try to trick you. And yes, Eric, I agree. Writing female characters. The problem is you have women trying to write female characters, and they don't even know how to write female characters. Camara, what's going on, by the way? How you doing?
I will counter that by saying inexperienced female writers trying to write female things.
I'll give you that.
And because I will say that there are some wonderful female writers out there back in the day from Dorothy Fontana.
Okay.
And George Lucas's wife when he wrote Star Wars, right? So there, it's not just that. It is that if women wrote women's stories, they would be completely different because women think differently than men do.
Yes.
And they value different things than men do.
And that's okay, but here's the deal. When we're talking about superhero films, guess who buys these comics?
Boys.
Guess who goes to see superhero films?
Boys and men.
Guess who goes to see female-led superhero films?
Boys and men.
And when you market this shit to people other than them, this is what you get. It's just the truth of it. And it keeps happening time and time again. As Mother Slug here says, 10 years from now, we'll still be getting this slop shit. And I do believe that. Unfortunately, I wish they would learn the right lessons. They can't seem to. It just is.
They never learn the right lessons.
No. And this final image, and we'll bounce off of Supergirl. Supergirl is the only superhero film worth hitting IMAX screen this summer.
Was any of it filmed in IMAX? Was any of this movie filmed in IMAX?
Yeah, not that I was aware of.
I did not hear anything in this movie was filmed specifically in IMAX. Right. Nolan specifically tells you what scenes he's filmed in IMAX, so you need to go see it in IMAX for these scenes. Project Hail Mary had scenes in IMAX that were specifically filmed in IMAX, and that makes a difference in why you want to see it in IMAX. Now, all they're doing is saying, hey, we want to pump as many people as possible into these 3,000 theaters we have across the country so that we can up the sales numbers, up the box office numbers as you're buying IMAX tickets to see this when nobody gives a fuck and nobody's going to IMAX to see it. So IMAX isn't going to pollute their story. They're going to rerun Project Hail Mary in IMAX because they're going to get more people seeing that than they are going to be seeing Supergirl. And Project Hail Mary's been out for 4 months.
And the final thing on Supergirl, it's right now, and look, Rotten Tomatoes not the end all be all, but it's at about 55%. 6.1 on IMDb, 76% on Fandango. Look, it's not successful. It's not a good story. It does not have good action scenes. It looks ugly. There are, the villains are generic. Lobo gets 5 minutes of screen time if you are a huge fan. It just is not a good adaptation of a book that was not a great book in the first place. And I saw this, and actually, Camara, here's the thing about this. He says, also, I might get hate for being a Snyder fan, but Wonder Woman was written by Patty Jenkins with oversight by Zach. Yes, because we saw what happened when they let Patty take the reins alone and solo.
And that was Wonder Woman 84.
And that was garbage.
Was shit.
But here's the deal. I think that objectively at this point, we can say that the Snyderverse, in my opinion, overall, better representation of DC heroes at this point. I just don't think what James Gunn has been able to do has been what even the fans want. It's what James Gunn wants. I think if Zack Snyder had been able to give Batman his own film, I think then we might have gotten something better than Batman versus Superman.
I think Snyder's Batman film would have possibly been the greatest Batman film ever made. Yeah, if Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder worked on it together, I think that could have been one of the greatest Batman films of all time. And
it's a shame.
It really is a shame that it didn't happen. I don't appreciate a lot of what Snyder did, but I do appreciate his version of the Justice League that he
Right.
filmed versus the Joss Whedon version.
So
And I understand why DC wanted to go with James Gunn as somebody who's more lighthearted and fun, and to bring that back to the DC universe. But you have to understand the DC universe is darker than the Marvel universe. It always has been. It's always been grittier than the Marvel universe.
you know that's funny because Angry Joe said that it was goofier and more lighthearted and like full of frivolity and
As we have
goofiness.
seen, Angry Joe doesn't know shit about shit. He's lying
No,
through his ass on
no.
everything right now.
Angry Joe definitely
It,
does
it,
not know what the fuck he's talking about.
I mean, if you look at the DC superheroes, they are the DC universe is a total fantasy universe. They use alternate city names, alternate locations. It's not in our universe. They wanted to make that very clear from the beginning. And this is a gods and monsters situation. This is the new Olympus, gods in the heavens of Olympus coming down to Earth to deal with humanity. And there's this separation between the superheroes, the metahumans, and humanity, but they're intertwined with us. And so there's a lot darker things that happen in the DC universe.
Right.
I mean, Speedy had the first heroin addiction thing going on in the Green Arrow comic book in the 70s, right?
Well,
And Marvel was always very much more surface level and fun and exciting, and you want to bring people in, and it was more colorful and more all over the place.
so I guess the last thing, really quickly, I don't know where they go from here. You know, you're gonna get Clayface. I don't know
They
if
don't go anywhere from here. It's done.
the writer.
We have Man of Tomorrow, and I think that may be a forced conclusion
Well,
that comes out.
Let me just say this: the writer of this movie is supposed to write Wonder Woman
Not
and
gonna happen.
and the Teen Titans.
Not going to happen.
I don't think so either.
No, neither one of those are going to happen. I mean, they screwed up Teen Titans on the DC streaming service that they had for a short period of time before it folded into other streaming and before it folded back into HBO.
Right.
And that Titans show, the last season of it was halfway decent, but it was a slog to get through that to that point, and they didn't do a good job of it then. I don't know that they can do a good job with it now unless they go back and recreate Marv Wolfman's stuff on Teen Titans or Chuck Dixon's version of some of these characters.
Well, that's not going to happen, and you know that.
Fair.
So
Fair.
we'll bounce off of Supergirl with this. Camara says another thing. This opens our eyes to the real audience reception of Superman 2025. If it really was this home run film, Supergirl should have been somewhat successful, like 300 to 400. Yeah, it would have been able to ride some of that hype from Superman. We know Superman was a failure because, you know, it was literally made mention of that by the CEO. Like they said, you know, the reason it went to streaming so quickly, he literally said it was not the success they hoped it would be. So they admitted it in a quote.
And if you listen to James Gunn, you catch him in 12 different lies during that whole time process.
Right.
Which he was saying, oh, Superman's going to be in the theaters for so long, and we're just going to keep it in the theaters no matter what. And then it got pulled to streaming and said, oh, yeah, we pulled it to streaming to make more, blah, 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 blah. And so he kept changing his story every time. So, so everything James Gunn says is a lie. You can't believe anything that man says.
So
he doesn't even know how the box office works.
And Eric, they do. I mean, look, they shit all over Superman in Supergirl. Now he supposedly has.
Well, they shit all over him in his own movie.
Yeah, in his own movie, right? So super shit was the. Yeah. I mean, so where do they go from here? I don't know.
They're done.
Get Clayface, but I honestly, it's. I would be shocked if they're able to put out the full slate that he wants to put out. I would be. It would be amazingly. It would actually be quite to their detriment.
So I'm fairly certain that we are going to have to get Man of Tomorrow. Beyond that,
Yeah, I don't
I
know
do
beyond that.
not believe that the
Right.
new owners of Warner Brothers is going to allow them to go forward with anything else because they're like, no, fuck
Right.
this shit.
So, talking about female characters who are pieces of shit, House of the Dragon, Matthew, I was so excited after season 1 for this show. So excited. I thought it was really, really good. I thought there was one episode that was kind of, okay, girl boss moment, right? Kind of, I don't know about this. But for the most part, um, season 1 had people buzzing. And
Yep.
then season 2 came, unfortunately, few years afterwards. It takes a long time. And a lot of that
Well,
hype had worn down, and then it was becoming apparent that they had a agenda with this show about its female-led characters, changing some of the material, parting with George R. R. Martin. Um, so, what what do you think season 3 has devolved into at this point?
so the first two episodes of season three are what should have been in season two. Season two caused a huge conflict between McKay and Martin, and George left and said, I will not have anything more to do with this. Because season two diverted so much from the source material, George was like, you can't even tell my story anymore. You can't even finish the story based on what you've already done here. And so I was worried about what was going to happen, and people seemed to like season two, but it was ended abruptly and didn't have the last two episodes. And then I was super excited because I knew what they were going to have to do with the next season. And then they come into it and they only film a quarter of what fucking happened. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe the second episode will have more of it. Nope. They are always at the end of it. It's already happened. You just get to see the aftermath of it. And now you get these two women going back and forth being dumb bitches.
Yep.
And then you get the men becoming dumb as fuck because they're following these dumb bitches. And this is the thing, is that this story kind of proved to the realm why women shouldn't be in power in this world, in the world of Ice and Fire, the Song of Ice and Fire. And from that point forward, they did everything possible to not let a queen sit on a throne because of what these two women had done. And so these are not good characters. And we
Right.
know this from the beginning. These are not good people. These are not good characters. They are horrible people. And we have to see what else is going on to make this happen. And Matt Smith is an incredible actor, and he's been killing it, but he's been getting shit for writing. And so he's had to follow this terrible writing that's been going on this whole time. And while the dragons look cool as fuck, and some of the battles are pretty entertaining, you missed about 75% of the battle that was supposed to be portrayed, that was described in the book about this. And the book is a historical text, and you're missing a lot of the story here.
I agree. I think that they have really not only changed characters now. When they swapped out some of the characters, the Valerians and stuff, it's like, okay, is that going to affect the story? Not really. It didn't seem like it affected the story at the time.
But and the guy who played Corlys, or is playing Corlys Valerian, is awesome. And
fantastic.
I loved his portrayal, and he turned me around on the whole idea. Right. But the problem is the confusion about legitimacy is kind of blown out of the freaking water when you throw someone with more pigmentation in their skin into the mix, because now that shows a lineage and how it's connected, and that ruins everything. And then they took out an essential character, the only actual black character in the story of A Song of Ice and Fire in this House of the Dragon storyline. The only black character who's actually in that story was taken out and replaced with a sibling, which will cause future problems if they choose to tell that story down the line, because of what Damon is supposed to do with this person.
Well, right. And I don't know if they're going to get there.
I don't think
Um,
that they're yet. I think it's done after season 3. I don't know that they're going to get anything beyond season 3. They've screwed this up so bad, and everybody who knows the lore is pissed about it, and the people who are watching it who don't know the lore are starting to see some flaws in it, but they're still engaged with it. So there are people who still like it a lot.
the most recent episode, look, there are parts of scenes that are effective um, emotionally,
Yeah.
that will draw you in. And then there's some really goofy shit that happens that doesn't make any sense for them just to be able to advance the plot.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird in just how easily things happen in this most recent episode. It just some of the fighting. I'm not saying the choreography's bad, but just some of the way that people are approached by and so I don't know that I want to really give anything away or not, because I don't know if anybody's been watching it, if they even give a shit. It's just that there also seems to be somewhat some character assassination going on with a couple characters. There is unfortunately, because they shortened last year, it almost feels like we're 2 episodes in, and this really should have been kind of the end of last
Yes,
season,
exactly.
right?
This should have been the end of last season because it sets up everything that's going to happen afterwards. But the problem is that they didn't actually film the Battle of the Gullet the way they should have, and that pisses me off more than anything. Because
Yes.
while it seemed somewhat epic, you missed half the battle in
A
what they
lot of
filmed and
stuff
what they
happens.
showed,
Yeah, a lot of stuff happens
or
off
75%.
screen.
Yeah.
It
So
doesn't have that epicness that Game of Thrones had for the most part,
no,
and smaller budget for sure.
the thing that I wanted to see the most would have cost them the least, and that is Daemon Targaryen and the Starks versus the Lannisters. That
Right.
whole campaign should have been more prevalent because it really shapes what Daemon is going to do moving forward. And they skipped it all and went to the end.
Well,
And,
I think unfortunately, look, I think it's always been the Rhaenyra and Alicent show.
well,
Espe-
clearly it has because they have gone full girl boss mode and preachy girl boss mode and
yes.
and lesbian undertones
Yes.
storytelling moving forward with all this manipulation that's going on, and it really
And
it's not good. This second episode fell off a cliff so hard that I know that there are going to be people that are just saying I'm done with this
I'm
bullshit.
I'm really concerned the next few episodes,
Yeah,
next at least couple episodes, are going to be mainly just conversations between Alicent and Rhaenyra,
that's
and
it.
we're not going to get a lot otherwise, or some
Yep.
just scenes that we don't need or really go anywhere.
Right.
So yeah, it's a shame because while there are parts of this most recent episode I liked, there are some serious issues in just how things are shown to you and how they play out, and they just don't make any sense. And I feel like it's just for the sake of just moving the
So
plot along. Um,
my
sensibilities
question
be damned.
my question to you is, do we think that they can keep the integrity of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms through 3 seasons?
Uh, if they don't fuck up next season, yeah.
So this is the question, right? Can they maintain the integrity of storytelling? Are they going to stay true to the books?
It's
And if they do stay true to the books through season 2 and 3, then they could have a complete series or most of it, because if they want to tell beyond that, it's going to be outside of what he's written so far, but not that he won't write it. But we know the
yeah.
end
I don't
point.
know.
We know the end point of that story, but I am still hopeful that the people involved with A Night of the Seven Kingdoms will stay true to the source material enough to make this a good show. And then we would have a Song of Ice and Fire show that's good from beginning to end. Because it's the only one that was finished.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the problem, right? Every time we think we've got one, right? Every time we think we've got one, something
Something
gets in the
happens.
way,
Yeah.
right? 3 star, take it easy, catch the replay tomorrow for sure. And then, obviously he has a show with Krusty L. Crow tomorrow night. And I know they're definitely going to be talking about JoeFest and probably have all kinds of pictures and stuff for you guys.
Mother's luck. That's what happens when you're spending time with good friends. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it goes quickly. I know this past weekend it went fast. I can tell you. The weekend goes by so fast. So yeah, it's a shame. I at least wanted to hit it up. There was kind of one more thing, Matthew, but of course I want to respect your time. Make sure you
No,
are
I'm good.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna hit up another story that you turned me on to, and I think it's important for us to understand what this really means. And I think a lot of you guys kind of know this for the most part. You've been seeing this happen, but I do think it is important to share this because Sony is deleting movies owned by PlayStation users. The list includes more than 550 digital titles. It's a licensing agreement with the PlayStation Network and accounts. But basically, if you purchased, let's say you purchased all 551 of these titles, unfortunately, you're going to lose them all. Every single one of them that you bought. And is this is not only the problem with non-physical media, but this is definitely where this can go in the worst case scenarios, right, Matthew?
And listen, people don't read those user agreements when they purchase things, and they don't realize what they say, because what they say is, you don't own this shit. Okay, this is
Yes.
temporary. We can change it. We can alter it. We can do whatever the fuck we want to it, and you can't do anything about it. And you'll either accept it, and if we pull it and delete it, too bad. So these people that have paid all this money for all these catalogs digitally, and they're losing all these films, Terminator 2 is on this list. Okay, so there's so many films that you would recognize on this list that are going away, and you cannot get them digitally again because they won't release them. So if
Yep.
you don't have them on physical media, you're screwed. And this is the nature of things. You will have less, and you will like it. That's what they're good. That's what the corporations. That's what the government's going to tell you, and they're going to take everything away from you that they can. And this is just the beginning of it. They can't keep the storage space up there, and they're gonna get a huge amount of backlash for this if it hasn't already started.
I'm
And Sony may change some of that, but
yeah.
but they've got to save server space, and with AI taking up all their server space, they have to clear it, and AI is what's killing all of this stuff, because AI takes up so much server space. They're having to build new server farms for it, and people are saying, fuck no, we don't want this. And all these AI companies that are popping up out of nowhere are going to fucking disappear when people say, no, you can't build your servers here.
Yeah, the so unless something comes along that's able to compress things in such a way that you do not lose quality,
Yeah.
and I don't know what that technology looks like.
Yeah.
It is you know, physical media at the very least. Maybe you had to buy it again several years later. Maybe if you moved, you lost it, right? Possibly losing something, breaking something. But ultimately, the cost for companies for the server space for a lot of the product, a lot of the stuff, you pay for. Think about this: you save all your pictures. Well, you've run out of storage space physically, right? It's physically, so
Store
buy
in the
cloud
cloud.
space, store it in the cloud. Okay, well, back in the day, it was either free or you paid a little bit of money for a. But now they've raised the cost of that. Now they've changed the plan on you. Now it's like, no, you have to pay for the 1 terabyte plan, and then you got to
It's
pay for the 2 and then the more stuff you save, and the more stuff you save. So it's like, I'm just curious where this goes with servers and storage and cloud storage and all that shit for as many people that are on this
Listen,
planet.
it all ends in the same place. You are paying a rental fee and you pay a monthly service charge on
That's it.
everything. This is ultimately where it goes. And I've said it for years, and you've been echoing it the last 2 years, I know, is that all of these streaming services we have will have commercials. Most of them do. Are you paying the upcharge to get rid of the commercials, or are you staying put with the commercials? Because it's only going to get worse. The advertisements are going to creep in there because they are losing money hand over fist with these streaming services because there's no money to be made there. Anybody who tells you that they're making money off their streaming service is either Netflix or they're lying.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, that's basically it. No, you're absolutely right. And so again, the comment of, you're paying to rent, right? So you're buying stuff, but you're really not buying stuff, and you're also paying to rent storage space, like a freaking storage container down the road.
Yep.
To store all your albums and your other stuff. And you might want to pay for an air conditioned one, so you're going to pay more for that. And so it's like, do you want to pay more for the ad free? Well, guess what? Then they get rid of the ad free and you only have one tier, right? Or two tiers, one that has more ads or one that has less ads, but they both got ads, right? Yep. And the prices continue to go up. They never stay, right? They continue to go up, and then usually you get less features and less movies, or they take away stuff. So this is just another list of, yes, people talk about, like, as Chimera says, that's why I buy both, DVDs, both buy DVDs and cosplay Jack Sparrow, which that part I love the most. But yeah, thrift store time, right, Eric? I mean, yeah. But it really is. It's like, if you want to be able to own this stuff, then being able to go back and buy the copies that don't require online, right? Yeah. That kind of stuff, and not everybody can go back and replenish their entire catalog, especially if they sold a lot of stuff. I get it, right? We all get tricked, in a way. It's happened generation after generation.
Well, exactly. This goes back to the 1980s and VHS and Betamax, and the reason that Betamaxes and VHSs cost $120 a piece or $100 a piece was so that the average person couldn't afford it. So you'd have to rent them from Blockbuster because they didn't want anyone owning them. The studios of Hollywood never wanted you to own one of their films because then they couldn't change it. They couldn't charge for it. They couldn't make money off it anymore because you owned it now. And so they had to put it on media that would be outdated or would degrade. VHS degraded. So like, okay, we can lower the price on this, I guess, because people are going to want to buy these. Blockbuster is selling their overstock of things. After you've rented it 10 times, you've paid for it. So anything above 10 times, you're making money off of it. And at some point, that thing's going to wear out. And you're like, okay, this thing's got a shelf life of only so long. So we've got to sell it. So Blockbuster Video was selling VHS tapes before anybody else,
right?
So that you could get an old, worn-out VHS tape.
That's it.
And the trend continues. And Warner Brothers did it with their DVD mixes. They made their DVDs to fail. So the first run of Warner Brothers DVDs was designed to fail and cause error in a short period of time, which pissed a lot of people off. It's all the same thing.
Go buy it again. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's easy to see, especially when you hear it and then you go back and you look and you go, oh shit, that does make sense, doesn't it? Right? Like,
how many of us bought records and then we bought tapes and then we bought CDs,
right? And then you pay for a streaming service so you can listen to all the music you could ever never listen to in your lifetime, because it becomes meaningless then, because it just becomes, collecting it rather than actually listening to it, hoarding it, so to speak. Look, Mother Slug, the GTA 6 conversation, I don't want to get deep into it, but yes, it's unfortunate that they're going to charge you. They have different price points. They have a $70 price point and they have a $100 price point. And the problem is the $100 price point, they've locked off a bunch of stuff in the game. So if you want the entire complete game, then you need to pay up another $30. But then on top of that, there are no physical copies of the game. If you pre-order it from GameStop and you go to pick up the box, right, the case, it has a digital download code. And it is true. If you decide you're playing their game, especially if it's the online version, and you are acting in a manner that they don't want you to act in, yes, it's possible they could ban your account. They could take away the game. I'm sure it's in the EULA. And so, yeah, it is something to be aware of. But, yeah, there are no physical copies for a $100 GTA game. I never thought I'd see the day, but again, I'm being proved wrong and wrong every time. It goes where you pay for everything, and then some. The corp is your landlord and master. Yep, Todd C, 100%. Definitely. Mother Slug says full control these companies want, and this is how they can try to control the situation. It's how they do control the situation, not how they try. They do control it, and you're pretty much powerless to stop it. I mean,
yep.
It's just true. And yes, tech has 100 times over since the 50s. Quality of life of the average person went down.
I would significantly disagree with that.
We could disagree with that. There's certain aspects of I think what you're saying makes sense.
Yes.
But I get the spirit of it.
Yes.
I know I do see what you're saying, Todd.
Yep.
I do understand the spirit of what you're saying for sure. And then let's see, never bought a record ever. Well, I got a bunch of them. Eric, I got a bunch of them.
Well, then you're just not one of the cool, trendy kids because everybody's got records because that's real analog sound.
I'm a hipster, can't you tell? I know I sound like one. And I got a fedora. And I don't wear underwear. Well, okay, that last part's not true.
Okay.
So the last thing
So what you're saying is that everybody's got to be airtight around you, right?
Nice. Damn, Matthew, that's good. See, this is where I need my soundboard. You know what I mean?
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, because this just don't cut it. It's too late. I can't get it. It's like just not quick enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need a soundboard. At least something I can just push the freaking button.
That's one of the things that I told Punk right away with on his stream.
The soundboard?
And then he uses the inboard one. I was like, you need a real one.
Yeah, no, you need physical buttons you can just hit. You know where it's at. You just bam, hit it, right?
Yep.
Okay, last thing I wanted to bring up. You sent this to me the other day while I was at JoeFest, and it is the fact that we are evidently getting a Conan the Barbarian TV show by the creator of Primal and Samurai Jack and the
original Clone Wars.
Yes, the original Clone War.
And Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's Lab. But you guys, you know who Gendy Tartakovsky is.
Now, I will say that Gendy has always touted himself as a huge Conan fan.
Yes.
So a lot of people are super excited about this.
Yep.
My only pushback is because I love Gendy's stuff like everybody else. I love the vast majority of his work and everything that he's done. Season 3 of Primal was not good. It was very, very different from everything else that he's done. And it taints it. And it makes me wonder, did the studio get involved and control him? Or was he making those decisions on season 3? And if he was making those decisions, I worry about what he's going to do with this Conan story, because it is about his time with Belit, the Pirate Queen. And this storyline is very brief in the original Howard novels, but it talks about that there was this about year time frame or so where they were together, and what they not what they did, but they were together on this pirate ship doing missions together and being together, and that Belit is Conan's greatest lover. Out of all the lovers that he's had, Belit is the one that he loved the most, according to Howard's story. So this could lead in many different directions.
So here's the deal. And as Eric said, the ending didn't make sense in Primal. I don't even know necessarily that it doesn't make sense. I see what he did. He brought it back around because after season 2, it was supposed to end.
Should have ended.
And Spears' story's supposed to end. And in It's the female and the kids, going off, and then he just kind of decides to make Spear human again at the end of Primal season 3, and then it's the family, right? And so that's kind of how he wanted to end it. That's how it's going to end, and it's not coming back. I fell off episode after episode because it wasn't bringing anything fresh.
No, it wasn't.
It just wasn't. It's like, okay,
it was literally a rotting corpse.
Yeah. Nice. Nice, dude. Hang on. You deserve one of these. So, it just, look, I was fast forwarding through fight scenes.
It was tough.
Scenes,
it was tough.
It got tough, and I hate that because I really just fell in love with season 1. Told as many people as I could about it. Season 2 I still enjoyed because it was just so wild and so out there and so crazy.
Yes.
Season 3 they stayed really on, the one lava area where those people are that he ends up having to fight over and over and over again and drink the shit, and it just it got stale to me.
Well, it went in a direction that the people who had watched the first 2 seasons didn't care for it to go.
Right.
It dove more into the supernatural, but it did it kind of poorly and didn't explain anything. And then it highly focused on this weird fetish that Hollywood has with warrior pregnant women who want to go into battle. And it's really kind of gross to me to even go down that road. I don't understand that fetish.
Yeah.
And it's pretty disturbing to me, actually.
I don't know. I mean, look, is that going to happen with Conan? I don't know, because I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what, I guess, this, adaptation, is. Amazon, it's Cartoon Network Studios. So
there's a lot of things to be positive about this,
yes.
But there's a couple of things to say. Hold your excitement just a little bit.
Look, the guy has a good track record.
He has a pretty good track record.
So I'll give him that. And I won't say that season 3 just ended his whole entire career for me.
Right.
But it's
not the best.
It does give me reason for pause a little bit because of the way season 2 continued to go, and then season 3 became. So we'll see. But it'd be pretty badass if he reels it off and makes it great.
Did you see that Willy Wonka thing I just sent you before
I did.
Okay.
I did. I didn't have enough time to really look at it.
Okay.
It was. Let's see. I hate that Johnny Reno. Damn it. He said I left it an hour before he went live. Yeah, I guess that kind of stuff.
It probably got deleted because I didn't see anything before Stanley's.
Yeah, and so I hate that. So they're making a Willy Wonka TV show where the contestants get like
it's a competition.
Ticket. Yeah, it's like a competition show.
So it's a convection candy making kind of baking competition type of thing.
Yeah, it says that. Let's see. According to the official press release, 12 lucky golden ticket winners, each with a partner of their choosing, will step through the gates of Wonka's Chocolate Factory into a world of pure imagination, delicious mischief, and unexpected challenges. Once inside, they must navigate Wonka's games, tests, temptations designed to challenge them physically, mentally, and morally. You can see where this is going to be an extremely heavily edited, produced show to contrive a lot of things as a reality TV show. Could it be an interesting premise? It could be.
Well, and that sounds interesting. Did you finish the headline though?
Hang on.
What's the major thing that's happening in this show?
High stakes social experiment? Players will journey through the factory's wondrous and unpredictable landscape, adapting, strategizing, and withstanding the unknown while proving they have the instincts, resilience, and character to thrive in chaos.
Who is the host, the announcer for everything that happens?
This is it, and this is it. So it says, adding to the nostalgia, Wonka's The Golden Ticket will feature the recreated voice of Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka, honoring the legendary performance that has enchanted generations of audiences. Ugh.
Fuck that shit.
Ugh.
I do not like that at all.
Yeah.
You're putting words in a
It's
dead man's mouth.
Fucking reality show.
And you're putting words in a dead man's mouth.
I don't know, man. Like,
that's kind of gross.
Fuck. Yeah. Not a fan.
That's kind of gross.
Look, and the thing of it is, you do have current actors that are alive who are signing off and recording their voice, and they're having this stuff done. But then you have families who are doing it after the fact, obviously for money. If they're left the rights, obviously. It's weird. It's a weird thing. This I don't like. Yeah. However, I just read a story about Chris Johnson, the former running back for the Titans and the Jets and the Cardinals, who has ALS, and he will probably be dead within a couple of years. He went from picking up his daughter and holding her up, his 7-year-old, to blow out her birthday candles, to not being able to hold a cup in his hand in 1 year. And this is a guy who gained 2,000 yards in a season with the Titans, had a magical year. And he's 39 years old. When he found out about his diagnosis like last year, he started recording his voice for a program that when he uses his eyes, you know what I'm saying, it will sound like him talking and not like a computer. That's
totally different.
It is totally different. But the part that's scary to me is when you start getting in the territory of, like, after someone passes, being able to have conversations with an AI model that sounds like
I think they made
wife.
A whole movie about this.
They did, didn't they? That shit is weird.
It is very weird. And you know what? And I understand Val Kilmer did the same thing. Yeah. And he wanted his voice to go through. But look, I mean, are we that dead? Are we that dead as a creative society that everything is locked into the 80s and 90s, early 2000s at most? And are we that retarded, right?
Yeah.
Into that world?
Yeah.
Can we not progress beyond that? Do we not have new voices? Do we not have new interpretations of things that will move society forward, or are we really that stuck in the past? Have we entered the Matrix? Are we stuck in 1999?
It is an interesting conversation at the very
Arrested
least.
Development.
Well, right. And the aspect of that it doesn't seem like creativity. We just keep regurgitating like the same stuff. We keep adapting things. New creative works are far and fewer between.
Yeah.
Where are all the literary geniuses that there were so many that you studied in school just 25 or 35 years ago? Where are the new painters? Where are the new sculptors? Where are the new? And maybe those things are technology based now, right? I don't know. But it is an interesting conversation to have. It's a conversation that's a little too late for us to have right now. But it is a conversation I would like to have sometime because I do find it quite interesting. And it does warrant talking about because,
well,
it's tough.
I will tell you, these are my favorite sculptors.
Oh, there you go. There's your new sculptors right there.
I mean, this is where the sculptors who I appreciate come through, and the painters and sculptors who work on these things. This is the stuff that I appreciate. This is the art form now that we've moved to. There you go. And so as the art forms change, there are still talented people out there. There's still people wanting to do new things and creative things, but they're so niche now. It's hard to catch anything on mainstream.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's Ed's. It's Action Fig's book. Pretty damn neat. Pretty darn neat. So yeah, man. Look, that's gonna do it for us this week. I appreciate you guys kind of hanging and chilling for about an hour about JoeFest and everything. didn't want to take up the whole time, talking about it. But I do appreciate everybody hanging in there and hanging with us, and then sticking with us through to the Hollywood talk. That's mainly what we do here, obviously. But we do love toys. We do love our toys. And Mother Slug, you might be right. They might have been aliens for all we know.
Well, according to Men in Black, I mean, if you look at that
True.
background, I mean.
But we will be back next Tuesday night again. And let's see here. Matthew, are you taking the family to see Minions? Are y'all going to do that? Or is that something you might just wait on?
No, I know my daughter wants to see it, so I think we're going to try and see Minions. Yeah, so we're there's a bunch of stuff coming out in the theaters that I'm going to want to see. The Werewolf trailer came out. I'm super excited about that. I just saw that the next season of Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix live action series dropped. And I will tell you, my 10-year-old is already frustrated with this new season. As she's calling out all the stuff that happened differently in the cartoon and that isn't happening now. And she's 10 and she's calling us out.
All right. Us old fogies didn't watch the anime. We just like the live action. At least me, anyway.
The live action, nobody likes the live action.
Oh, no, that's right. Never mind. Yeah, I had One Piece in my head. Yeah, I had One Piece in my head for some reason. Yeah, no, I get where she's coming from because I have read. Yeah, I've basically read the
so
that's pretty funny.
The animated cartoon is amazing, and the movie had its moments. It was whatever, and nobody likes that. But this TV series, the first season, people generally kind of liked, but they had their criticisms of it. Well, these criticisms are getting worse now with season 2, and we've only made it through 75% of the first episode, and we're like, ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, man. You guys have a happy 4th coming up, Big 250. Have a safe happy 4th, please.
Yes, please. Don't blow off any fingers.
Next week. And then I will try to get in a Sunday stream. I do have my son this weekend, but I'd like to do a Sunday night stream again because I do have a couple things I'd like to bring up. But that's about it for us. Y'all catch 3-Star Draw and Krusty Old Crow tomorrow night on 3 Stars Channel for 7's Wild.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, you know me. I'm just posting every day on Instagram, and I've got some cool stuff coming up. I've got 2 4th of July posts scheduled. One is G.I. Joe, one is Savage Crucible, but both are related to 4th of July.
Awesome.
So kind of similar. They'll be similar looking posts because I took them around the same time, but they're interesting. So check those out. They might be reminiscent of a Club Tarkin visitor that was there.
Wow. Okay. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll catch you next week, and y'all be good. All right. Appreciate it. See you then. Peace.